What we do see is speech development, language development. We have children who were never singing before are now singing. They enjoy the music that they're doing. Their confidence levels are at a peak, where I will have children that will come in the door who don't even want to touch the piano. They're afraid. I think they're afraid of making a mistake a lot of times. Well, now we'll sit back and they'll say things like, oh, that was a piece of cake.
The first thing was just her confidence. You know, the minute that she could sit down at the piano and, you know, walk away and have a song already under her belt, suddenly her confidence just improved and she was so proud of herself.
Simply Music is really a godsend because what it does is it creates a channel for her to be able to express herself creatively.
Simply Music has absolutely opened up the world of music to Matthew in a way, in a profound way that I cannot comprehend. Because Matthew never liked music. As a youngster, as a baby, he cannot stand me humming, and anytime there's any music involved, he screamed. From where he's at, he totally loves music to a point where he enjoys the dancing and the singing and the practice. That is absolutely phenomenal.
When he just sat down and was able to learn through the method, he got confident, he was having fun.
I just feel this program has been nothing but positive for Ryan. It's given him the confidence to go out, and this is a child who really wasn't that extroverted, and yet will go into a restaurant and he'll hear somebody playing the piano and he immediately goes over there.
I think what that did for him, it just helped him be more comfortable in general.
And it's taking him to be confident in other areas of his life.
It's just opened up a whole new world for her, something that would never have been available to her, you know, if this program wasn't in place. She's more confident now at approaching and actually giving it a go, whereas before she was not as confident. It's been amazing how Savannah's come along and developed in her ways of playing and understanding how it all takes shape.
She's not able to communicate very well. It's hard for her to come up with the language or the words to describe how she's feeling. It's just, language is so difficult for her. But when she's playing a song, she can sing the whole thing beautifully.
So off we go, both hands.
Okay. I've been surprised with how much I've been able to learn with this method. It gave us hope that, you know, there could be some more improvement.
I'm surprised Teresa can retain what she can retain. It's just incredible. How many times my eyes fill up and I look and I just think how she was and how she is now.
Beautiful job. Well done.
What happened was I was teaching traditionally, and where students would come in, we'd read from the page, you know, FACE, every good boy does fine, whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes. We call that a reading-based approach, because the students can only play as well as they can read music. Now, for some it works, but for a lot of my students it was slow and frustrating and laborious, and they ended up quitting.
And I think that's probably where the problem was. People could teach theoretically what it was all about, but they couldn't actually teach you to play. until you could play, and then they could refine it. It's really allowing them to explore their own musicality, that before you had to explore someone else's musicality via the music, instead of being able to have the information yourself and make it yourself.
There's not a lot of pressure on you when you're doing Simply Music. I know when my kids took other lessons, you know, you're trying to learn so many things at once that it's kind of terrifying for the child. But with Simply Music, it's the joy of playing music and the joy of singing and learning. And so I think the stress is off of them.
The Tourette's is just annoying, like they're taking you off task, and I just can't get stuff done as fast, and it's just frustrating. And Simply Music has helped me with that because it's been like forgiving, like it's fun. It just makes it easier for me to learn anything.
Hi, Celeste. Hi, Deanna.
The teacher told me, you know, if she can't follow directions, I can't teach her. So that was the end of piano lessons there. And she was about 9 years old at that time. So I really didn't know how much hope to have here when we started piano lessons. I just asked JANITA, would you try with her?
So Celeste, when you play this, it's, I know, 1, 1. We've done this before.
I've had parents who've called crying on the phone saying that they've just wanted their child to learn how to play the piano, and no one will take them because they've been told by these traditional teachers that they'll never learn. Well, we kind of set out to prove them wrong, and I think we've pretty much done that. But we wouldn't have been able to do that unless we had this methodology, because I don't think a lot of kids, once again, would be able to handle the stress of being in a traditional lesson.
Every individual, given any, you know, the right opportunity, which I feel Simply Music is, to learn the piano. It's absurd, really, thinking that they will not be able to. I really think anybody could learn it.
Because Simply Music doesn't rely solely on learning how to read notes and then play. In fact, it seems to me it's the reverse. Learn how to play, enjoy some songs, and have a good time with the music. And then, by the way, this is kind of how it works. Because of that approach, I see Ryan now as being able to just be able to make sense of the whole thing.
With Simply Music, we were able to remove that difficulty so that the students could focus on playing and looking at their hands and understanding shapes and sentences and patterns that allowed them, excuse me, to move on to reading at a later time by relating all those patterns and stuff right onto the page.
I think Simply Music, of all the types of piano training that I've seen, you know, traditional, Suzuki, it just lends itself more to meeting you where you are, letting you start, and if it takes you longer to get going, so be it. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
We may sit cross-legged on the piano stool, but that's absolutely fine. Whatever brings about calm in her being so that she can be focused on what else we're doing. We run with whatever is.
It's using all the modalities of learning, you know, visual and auditory and kinesthetic. So whatever their strengths are, we're going to hit them.
I strongly believe that piano trains the left brain and the right brain at the same time. I look at it as really a therapy for Matthew, to balance Matthew's brain activity. And I sure see so much improvement in him that I'm sure that this is going to be a very good revenue to try. At least give it a try. And Matthew has a lot of success in this, and then I think that it's really worth trying.
As I'm merging left hand and right hand, left brain and right brain, because that has been what's been damaged with the injury, and that has encouraged healing with the brain. We believe it's encouraged healing with the brain long term.
When you think, when she first came home from hospital, the left hand, she could not That left arm was not being used at all. She had to retrain herself to use the keyboard. Keyboard she would use right hand only. And gradually the left hand came back. And the piano has been definitely a big help in that way.
So the comprehension has also evolved because of the practicing of the program.
It's stimulating all these different parts of the brain in one session, and with a program like Simply Music, it's also gratifying because it's not like they're sitting there doing all, you know, every good boy does fine. They are actually playing something, and so they get an instant gratification, which for a child with autism is really important.
Good job.
One of my biggest wishes is to be able to figure out what's going on in Celeste's mind before I die. And I tell you, already I'm getting a glimpse that I never thought I'd be able to get. Right now, I'm just lucky, well, I think we're all lucky that we've even had that much. That she's been able to express herself in a way that she wasn't able to express herself before. There's a lot more going on now with Celeste and us to give us an idea of what she's thinking that we've ever seen before.
With Simply Music and his Tourette syndrome, it seems that when the music is happening, it doesn't seem that the Tourette's is really in the way. It doesn't seem to be part of it. In fact, it seems as if, you know, he's able to have a different part of his brain working or something, where he's all of a sudden now bypassed that and he's just enjoying the moment.
The kid inside really does have something to say. It's not like there's no one in there. You may not hear them talking on the outside, but there is a spirit inside that wants to communicate and touch the world. And if they can learn music and they can learn a way to connect and express themselves without having to speak.
For her, playing the piano and being able to sing it, it is like a language of its own. It's so beautiful to see her be able to express herself, to see, you know, whatever's inside of her able to come out.
There is new hope for me. I mean, and I think that for Deanna as well. We feel a lot more confident now that she's going to hopefully get to the point where she can take care of herself.
I feel very blessed to be able to witness his growth. And I feel very blessed for God to give me Matthew, you know, and to open my eyes to a world that I'm totally ignorant of.
That's why we do this, because we know that these children understand that we can help them learn. That's the most rewarding thing you can have. It's priceless. It really is. They need the program. It's not just fun. It's something that they need in their lives.